This is your house, like this is yours. This is what, some of your tax dollars are funding. So just feeling empowered and entitled to have the ear of your legislators and to act on it. First of all, thank you for having me. We at the business love Rocky Mountain Microfinance. My name is Doni Clemons. I am the Programs and Communications Manager at Good Business Colorado. Good Business Colorado is a members-led organization for entrepreneurs and employers to galvanize around values-driven work. We focus on policies and practices for businesses that help us to sustain prosperous economies, equitable communities, and sustainable environments.
Wonderful. We're big fans of GBC as well. And one of the major reasons is because of all the support work you guys are doing for the ecosystem. And so we'd love to know what bills the GBC led and supported this session, and how did those pan out?
Yeah. A really top priority bill for us was SB 25276. So they titled it Protection, Civil Rights, Immigration Status. And essentially, it's a civil rights protections bill for all, regardless of immigration status. This was really important for us because we believe civil rights are important. Also, for small businesses, having these protections in place really supports small businesses and businesses in general because it makes people feel more comfortable to go to work, to shop, to invest in their local communities. Yeah. Another bill that we supported was the HB, 251295. And so that was a food truck operations. This bill worked to streamline processes for food trucks across jurisdictions. So basically, no matter which county you were in, it's really working to make it easy for you to kind of cross those lines, set up your mobile truck operations, and be able to give people your yummy goods that you're selling.
And how did that bill turn out?
It also passed. I think that it's still needing some like galvanization and support around it to make it through the governor's signature process. But yeah, it went really far. It passed, and we're just going to see if it gets signed into law and what the specifications are after the fact, like what the new laws and regulations will be around really trying to streamline those processes.
Any other bills that the GBC led or supported this session?
Yes, we also had HB 1269 as a high priority, and it's about decarbonizing buildings. So it's like building decarbonization measures was the name of it.
Okay.
And it's all about trying to update building performance measures so that they are reducing greenhouse gas emissions. And we all know that as a county, as Denver County, where I live, and then also as a state, we're trying to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And so this would help to do that, but it also assists in getting companies, particularly small businesses and kind of smaller buildings, up to speed with some of these standardizations. And doing so is also a cost-saving measure for small businesses. So that's another exciting reason for us to get behind it, as well as kind of future-proofing your business, for, regulations that are sure to come when it comes to greenhouse emissions and things like that.
Oh, so was the legislation around raising the bar for what small business owners need to be able to implement in their businesses, or was it a support structure for transitioning to greener carbon-free buildings?
I think it was a bit of both. And so I know that there was something in there for, basically it is about raising the bar, but I think there were also, and I'm not sure if it made it all the way to the finish line, but I do know that there were also provisions to help businesses get on board. And it wasn't just small business specific, but businesses in general to get on board with trying to reduce greenhouse emissions.
Very cool. Well, I think the biggest question then is like, how can the entrepreneurs in our community, I think let's start with like get involved with the legislative process and support these kinds of bills as they move through our legislative session here in Colorado.
Yeah, I can't emphasize enough how important I think it is, not only for business owners, but for everyone to get involved with um, what's happening in their communities, especially in the legislative process. I think probably the easiest thing to do and the thing we do the least often is just contacting your legislator. Um, it's so easy. Their information is public. You can email them, you can call them, you can go and set up a way to have a meeting with them. They, particularly here in Colorado, but I would say across the spectrum, you pay them to do their job. They want to do their job and they cannot be everywhere at once. So they want to hear from you. Yeah, they can't be everywhere at once. They want to hear from you. They need to hear from you. And everyone has different issues and barriers that are kind of specific to them and their communities. You have organizations like Good Business Colorado, Rocky Mountain Microfinance, Center for Community Wealth Building, Small Business Majority is a national one, or others, maybe those aren't like-minded for you. Maybe there's some other ones. Just do some research, link up with organizations so that you're not alone and your voice is that more compounded. Also, there are coalitions. There are ways to get involved with your counties. I was a part of like a sustainability board that the city of Denver was doing. So there are all these different ways that most jurisdictions are wanting to hear from their community members. Just going to a community meeting, I think, recently we were seeing more and more how those started making national news, with concerned citizens asking questions of their legislators about a lot of recent changes. So just knowing that that's accessible to you, that you already pay into it. It's yours, like I love whenever we go to the Capitol with different organizations and they're like, this is your house, like this is yours. This is what, some of your tax dollars are funding. So just feeling empowered and entitled to have the ear of your legislators and to act on it. I think is just like the most basic, fundamental thing that I would love to encourage everyone to do.
Well, and I hope you don't mind since I have you. I'd love to ask kind of a slightly related follow-up question since we have all of our entrepreneurs seeing this. What is the power of the membership with the GBC and how can they help if our entrepreneurs do want to get involved in more of the advocacy space?
Yeah, so oh my gosh, GBC is so cool.
That's why we
um,
wanted to talk to you guys. You're
yeah.
amazing.
Love it so much. I was a GBC member before I joined on the team because I felt like it was such an approachable way and a powerful way for me to not only meet people in a city in which I was new at the time, but also like-minded people. GBC in particular, I was drawn to because of its work on such key bills in Colorado.
Mm.
So very early on, Good Business Colorado was really instrumental in making sure that small business voices were heard with the Crown Act, which I was impressed by, and also the Paid Family and Medical Leave Act, which to me was really impressive that small businesses would
Yeah.
want to advocate for that across the state of Colorado. A great organization to be a part of. I particularly have been loving the fact that so many of the people that I get to see all the time who are part of this organization are passionately advocating on behalf of other people, on behalf of communities outside of theirs for laws that they just feel are just and right that don't particularly negatively affect them or affect them one way or the other. It's so impressive to me and inspiring to me, and it's something that I get to like be around all the time.
If entrepreneurs join the GBC, what will they get? Like, do they get brought into the loop to sign petitions with you guys or do events with you all, and they get to participate in the advocacy more directly?
Yeah. So once entrepreneurs join, we have an arm that's specifically more policy focused, but then we also have an educational and more kind of networking focused part of our organization. There are so many pathways to getting involved if policy is your jam alongside other entrepreneurs or small business owners. Last year and more recently, we've really been trying to encourage our members to bring forth their own bills as they pertain to like their own industries. And that's been really interesting and fun. We had a policy pitch fest, but we also try to support folks when they just email us and say, do you know any other coalitions or any other people that are trying to see this specific thing happen? And so that's really exciting. Yeah, all across Colorado. We had,
Your first policy pitch fest? I'm sorry, that sounds amazing. I have to ask.
yeah, out of that came a bill that I don't even think it won the Pitch Fest, but everyone was so excited about it. It was about regenerative agriculture. That's part of the fun in seeing members get involved and seeing them get passionate about, rights and legislation that may not seem like it directly affects whatever their business is, but it might affect their customers or it might affect their employees, and they care about that.
Doni, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you talking about Good Business Colorado, the work you do, ways that our community can get involved. Is there anything else you'd like us to know or our entrepreneurs to know about the work you guys are doing or things coming up?
I just want to leave people with the idea that, I think things right now are unpredictable and that they don't have to be in this alone.